Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I make a tart cherry crumb pie. Let's get started. Let's begin this recipe by making the pie crust. You want to start with 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and half of a teaspoon of salt. Then you want to add in 1 stick of butter that has been cut into cubes. Just use a fork or a pastry blender to incorporate the ingredients together. It's going to look all crumbly once you get all of the ingredients incorporated. Next, you're going to add in 4 tablespoons of ice water. You may need more or less, so just add some at a time until you determine exactly how much you need. When you squeeze the dough together and it holds, that means you have added enough water. If it doesn't stick together, then you need to add more. After you get your dough rolled into a bowl, then you want to flatten the dough out into a disc and wrap it in plastic wrap. And then you put it into the refrigerator for an hour. While the dough is resting in the refrigerator, let's make the cherry filling. You want to start with 6 cups of frozen tart cherries that have been thawed, 2/3 cup of sugar, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of citrus juice. Give those a quick mix and then stir in half a cup of flour. You want to cook this over medium-low heat for 10 to 15 minutes. You want the flour and the sugar to be dissolved, and you want the syrup to start to thicken. For the citrus juice, I used orange juice, but you could use lemon juice or lime juice or grapefruit juice as well. It just depends on whatever you prefer for your taste. I wanted orange juice to add an extra sweetness. You want to periodically stir the cherries while they're cooking down, but you want to make sure that you don't over stir them so that they don't become mushy. Now the cherries and the syrup that they are in is starting to thicken up, so I'm going to remove it from the heat. Next, just stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now it's time to make the crumb topping. You want to start with half of a cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You also want to put in 4 tablespoons of butter. Now, just the same as you did the crust, you're just going to use a fork and do the ingredients all together. I find it easier after I get it mixed up a little bit to then start using my hands, and you just want it to look like a crumb. Now it's time to roll out the pie crust. Once you take it out of the refrigerator, you want to let it sit for 5 minutes before you begin rolling it. You want to take some all-purpose flour and put that onto your table or counter, whatever you're using. Also on top of the dough and on your rolling pin. And you're just going to roll it out. You use your pie pan to determine the size that you need, and you just keep rolling it until it is big enough to fit into your pie plate. And then I just roll my dough up like this. I've got enough flour on there so that it's not going to stick. And once you get it into your pie pan, you do not want to stretch the dough. You want it to fit in there just nice and hang over the edge. Then I'm going to trim off the edges with my knife a little bit, but I'm going to leave some overhang so that as I pinch and fold the dough, there is enough there to make a real nice, pretty crust on there. Only thing I'm doing is just kind of folding it under and then pinching it, folding it under and then pinching it like that all the way around. Now I'm going to line a sheet pan with aluminum foil, put my pie crust into the aluminum foil just in case it bakes over, then it'll be easy to clean up. Then I put my cherry filling into the pie crust, and then I put the crumb topping on top. I just use my hand to sprinkle it out and make sure that I get it pretty evenly distributed all the way around my pie onto the top of my pie. Once I get that on there, then I'm going to put it into a 375-degree oven for 50 to 55 minutes. This one took 50 minutes, and you can see how nice and golden brown it is on top, and the crust is nice and golden brown. If you find that your crust is browning too soon, you can cover it with aluminum foil before it finishes baking. Let the pie rest on a cooling rack for about an hour before cutting it. Now let's try a piece. And it is absolutely delicious. I'm sure you will find it delightful. Okay, that's all for this video. If you use this recipe to make a tart cherry crumb pie, let me know what you think of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.